Good day, you all. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to those who are new. If you don't already know, I am Trinice L. Jackson. The L is for Latoya. If you have yet to subscribe to my channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the post notification bell so that you all will be notified when I upload new content. If you like what you hear, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, keep your like to yourself for yourself and save it for another day or possibly another YouTuber. It doesn't matter to me as long as I'm able to get my message across, as long as you all are remaining true to yourselves. That's very important in this day and age. Every day in life, remain true to yourself no matter what. It's not about, as I said, giving me likes because of our connection. You guys know. Those who don't know, you're gonna know now. I always tell people that no matter who I am to them, your daughter, your mother, your sister, your cousin, your best friend, your coworker, your neighbor, whomever, do not feel sorry or feel bad for Trinice because you see only a like or two. It's okay. I know that what God gives me, He gives it to me for the right people. And even if you don't comment, you don't like, as long as you can take whatever you can take that resonates with your life and apply it to your life, then my job is done. My job will be done. And I'll be happy about that. So today I'm going to talk a little bit. Well, first, before I get there, I know it's been a while since I uploaded a video. And before, when I first started out, I was trying to upload like at least once a week. That has changed because life has changed, and I always tell you things that I can control, I'm going to control it. Things that I can't control, then what do? I give it to God and I allow Him to control it. But you know, right now I am currently working on my website. So God actually told me a few weeks ago, or maybe even a month, I'm not sure, He told me to work on my website. And I told a lot of people, while I was telling people on Instagram and Facebook that, you know, I'm a perfectionist and I know nothing is perfect. Even when it says practice makes perfect, nothing is perfect. You can perfect your craft. And not that what I'm doing is a craft, it's not, it's my calling, it's my purpose. However, my perfectionist spirit causes delays and stagnation with my website, and I had to like really have a face-to-face with myself, and I had to tell myself, Trinice, call somebody in to help you, because although God has given you the things, He's given me the vision. I have the vision, and it's about putting in the work. I always talk about putting in the work, and I'm gonna talk today about putting in the work. And I did a post on, excuse me, I'm always kind of jumping, things just come to me. I posted a video. I tried to post it on YouTube, because I said I want to do shorts for YouTube and just leave, and I'll also continue my shorts for Instagram and Facebook. But I was talking about positive and self-affirmations. A lot of us, we speak a lot of positivity over our lives, and that's important because the tongue is powerful. It's 100% is powerful. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. So yes, it's important that we speak positive affirmations to ourselves, over our lives, over the lives of others as well. I mean, self-affirmations are for you, but I said a lot of us, we speak these things, but we're not really living them, right? Because they sound good. They sound good to us. We want to feel like we're doing something positive for our lives. We want to say we're living in, we want the light. We want to project that light, and we want that light to be in us, and it can be, but we still have to put in the work. And today I'm going to talk, well, I was saying that I wish I could just stay on course with what I'm saying. I'm going to practice on that. I don't know if it'll ever happen because, you know, I'm a talker and things just come to me as I'm speaking. But what I was saying is God told me to work on my website. And I was like, well, God, the people, I need the people. He said, work on your website, Trinice, because that's important. And that's why I'm going to talk about today about legacy and generational wealth and creating generational wealth. And a lot has to do with putting in the work. So today, that's what we're going to be dealing with. Two parts of legacy. When you think about legacy, when I think about legacy, I think about it in two parts. There's always that flip side to the coin, remember? So I want to talk a little bit about legacy when it comes to values, core values, integrity, honesty, quality, not just quality of life, but the quality of your life, your heart, your mind, your spirit. That's very important. Leaving behind a legacy that's worth believing in, that's worth building upon, you know. And I said this on Instagram and Facebook, that a lot of the times we have to start anew. We have to start new legacies. Let's just face it. I'm always going to deal with reality. I'm a person who deals with reality. I'm not in a fantasy world. You know, I know a fantasy world makes you feel good. Like it makes you. It's an illusion. It's delusional when we are living in a fantasy world. Just like the comfort zone. I'm gonna deal with the comfort zone a little bit when it talks about when I talk about generation wealth. I'm gonna deal with a few things here. This video I'm hoping is not too long, but it might be a little bit long. If I stumble over some words, forgive me. I'm not gonna. I promise. I'm trying my best not to start over. When I first started out, I wouldn't start over. You got what you got. But you always got the message. You always was able to understand where I was coming from. I'm trying my best not to start over. I'm hoping nobody come out the room and start talking to me and saying whatever. Like, please stay back, please. Like, Satan, get thee behind me. But anyway, so I want to talk about, I said legacy. The first part of it is values, integrity. I'm very proud to be a Jackson, you all. The Jackson bloodline, we just great people. I'm just saying, I'm not tooting my own horn, but it is what it is. Never toot my own horn because I'm a very humble person, very loving, giving, caring person. And that is part of my legacy. That is who I was raised to be. Now, don't get me wrong. People are going to be who they are. People have their own traits. I said this before. I said that in was it my last video? It might have been, yes, it was my last video that I posted about becoming a better version of oneself, becoming a better version. And I talked about the twins, and no matter how we share the same DNA, we're not going to be the same people. Could you imagine if we all walked around with the same purpose, the same goals in life? Life would be so boring, y'all. It would be so boring. So we all, no matter what, even being raised in the same household, me, my brothers, we were raised together. We have the same mother, same father. My father didn't raise me. I'm gonna talk a little bit. I'm not gonna talk about him per se, but what I'm talking about leaving things behind for your children. And some of you all may say, forgive me because I know I'm jumping around. Some of you all may say, well, how could you talk about something that can you show me your generational world? I'm working on it. This is why God told me, focus on your website. You know, some people may look and say, oh, how she think the website is going to, or what she think that's going to. It's a start. It's a start. You have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. That's about putting in the work. No matter how much I believe that God is going to bless me abundantly, monetarily, not just spiritually, because I'm spiritually, I am abundant. I'm full. It's always room to be for more. But I have to start somewhere, and that's why I said, I don't know if I said this in the beginning, I have to call my niece, and my niece is very good. She was supposed to go to Fashion Institute. I don't know what happened with that, but she's very good when it comes to fashion. So I said, you know, God gives me the word. He's given me the vision. He gives me the things to put out there. He does. I'm not sharing them with you all yet until I share them with the world. But I have a problem with, I need everything to be almost perfect. I could change the design 10 times. And the first one probably was perfect. But anyway, it's about putting in the work. And I want to talk about the second part is creating generational wealth. Now, some of you all might say, well, you know, she's my best friend. She's probably going to get me for this. Naeem, she's my sister from another mister. She says, you know, I want you to stop doing one thing in your videos. And I was like, well, what could that be? God gives me what to say. Nobody can tell me what not to say in a video. I mean, I'm open. I'm always open to suggestions. I'm always open. I always want to surround myself with people who are not going to be yes people. I don't want to be surrounded by people who don't know more than me. I want to surround myself around people who I can learn from and I can take from. Not take and not give back, because I'm not a taker. I never was, never will be. I'm always about helping others, but I'm also on one accord with reciprocity, reciprocal. Even exchange, not quite even exchange, because like I told you all before, that everybody will not be able to pour into you in the manner that you pour into them, but it's always about effort, making effort, right? So my best friend, she said to me, could you please stop saying that you don't have a college degree? I haven't said that in a long time. And I said, well, I don't. And she said, but it's like, she didn't say this is not verbatim, but this is in substance. She said, yeah, but you talk about that a lot. And I said, I get why she said it. She didn't say that I'm highlighting it, but you know, I talk about a lot, and sometimes people might think, well, that's an insecurity she has and she has to let people know. It's not an insecurity. I mean, I do wish I had went to college. I tried to take the easy way out by not going. I didn't want to go to 4 years to school or what have you, and I ended up going to court reporting school for 3.5 years. So I should have went on to college, but guess what, that maybe that wasn't in the game plan for me. However, when I talk about not having a degree, I want to highlight this, that although I may not have a college degree, but I'm serving somebody who called me, who has the highest degree in life, and that's God. He has the highest degree in life, and I'm called by him for a purpose. And your purpose, and although I may not have a college degree, don't get me wrong, I'm not stupid that I'm going to walk into a 500 company and a Fortune company and say, I'm going to be the CEO. No, it ain't going to work like that, Trinice, period. Even some other jobs that I probably can master, you have to still have a degree. But the point of me saying this is I want people to know, those who don't have higher educations, you could still generate generational wealth. You could still build generational wealth if you stay connected to your purpose. I told you. And I didn't tell YouTube, but on Instagram, I said that, God paved the way. He made the way for us. How so? Your purpose. Stay connected to your purpose. And I also said this before in plenty of videos. Y'all know I'm a little bit redundant. I'm a little bit repetitive. I do know I got another follower. I noticed that I have another follower. So I'm going to say it for her, and she may not even need it, but I'm going to give it to her anyway. I'm giving it to whoever can take from this. It's always about what you can take from it. If you can't take from it, leave it right there. Somebody somewhere will take from it and prayerfully apply it to your lives. That's the goal here, is about applying things to your life, putting in the work. It's about putting in the work. It's always going to be about putting in the work. Anyway, I said that in that Instagram post, I said that God paved the way for abundancy, your purpose. Stay connected to God. Stay connected to God. When you stay connected to God, you stay connected to your purpose. Now, whether you take a different route, a different plan, that's on you. That's why I talk so much about the journey. And I know I'm also a person who talk about the bigger picture. And some people say, well, the bigger picture is the destiny. The destiny is going to happen whether you like it or not. That's like if I get on a plane, God forbid, I'm saying God forbid, you get on a plane in JFK and you start off, that's at your point A, and your destination is Dominican Republic. And you get in the plane, you may not make it to Dominican Republic. But within that journey, that was something, that was your destiny. Regardless of what, God don't make any mistakes, no matter how. Sometimes when I lost my cousin, I felt like, ooh, God, what did you do here? Now, I know I had talked to my pastor and said, well, God didn't do it. I said, no, he didn't do it. I didn't say this to him. But in my mind, I would say, no, he didn't kill my cousin. He didn't take his life, but it was part of the plan. He allowed it. That's basically what I wanted to say. No, he didn't kill him. He didn't take his life, but he allowed it. It was part of the plan. But anyway, my point is, it's always about the journey. I'm always going to talk about the journey. It's always about the journey, how you live your life. Anyway, I want to talk about legacy, and before you can, when you create generational wealth, you gotta make sure you're leaving it in the right hands of the right people. This is why you gotta talk about the core values first. Integrity, and how you live your life and how you raise your kids. Like I said, like my grandparents helped my mom raise me and my siblings. They help along with my uncles and my aunts, because it takes a village, right? So before we can get to the generational wealth, make sure that whoever you're leaving, you're creating this legacy, meaning your name, what's behind the name. You want it to be able to be built upon by the right people. I told you cannot remove yourself. I didn't say it in here. You cannot remove yourself from your lineage. You can't remove yourselves from your bloodline. You can't do it. But sometimes we have to change the mindset. The way that our parents, and I'm not talking about you, Mom. I'm just saying. Let me be clear. When I talk about a lot of things, I'm speaking in general. I'm not singling out the Jacksons. I'm not singling out anybody. I can't talk about what goes on in your family or what your family did. I can't talk about that. And even if I could, I wouldn't, because it's not my place to do so, right? So what I'm simply saying is sometimes we have to change the mindset and step out of the comfort zone and stepping outside the box. Whether it's a box you put yourself in or a box somebody else created you in, right? It's about stepping out your comfort zone, creating new legacies. You just may be the legacy builder. You may be the legacy builder. You might be called to build new legacies, different legacies. Because the reality is, some people's legacy is not They may not be proud of the legacy. So you might be the one. I'm proud of my legacy. Because like I said, I come from a family that has core values, integrity. That's who I am as a person. That's who I am as a person. And I also want to say, I need to probably just stay focused. I'll talk about that maybe when I do my video on Instagram. So I was looking at a video on, it was Sway. It was a podcast, and it was months ago. And they were interviewing, him and his crew was interviewing Viola Davis and the cast from Woman King. I have not seen that movie yet. I haven't seen it. But one of the young ladies was saying, I don't even remember, because I should have looked at it just to refresh my memory. But one of the young ladies was saying that she does not give her energy, and I talk about this a lot, to anything that's not connected to her purpose. She don't give energy to things that's not a part of her purpose. She says she works, she goes home, and she goes to sleep. She said, when I go to sleep, God fills in the blank. In other words, when I go to sleep and rest, God gonna do the rest. And Viola Davis, I don't know if this was an add-on, because it was so long ago that I watched it, but I remember the words she said. Or she chimed in, or it was a question posed to her. And she said that they had the notion of work, because wanting to leave a legacy and generational wealth. She said that is a trauma-based mentality. I respectfully disagree. 100% disagree. She said because it gives the ideal or the idea that you can't work, you can't rest, or you can't rest because you have to build this legacy. You have to leave behind this certain legacy, and you have to build this generational wealth. Look at God. Even God said on the seventh day, rest. No one said that you can't rest. You have to put in the work. Even God put in the work. When he created the heavens and the earth, he put in the work. But on the seventh day, he rested. So I have to respectfully disagree with her. And the reason I disagree with her is because do not put out that energy when you are already creating generational wealth for whomever comes behind you. You are already leaving a legacy. So let people put in the work so they can achieve their goals, and so that they can make it easier for the people that comes behind them, right? It's a cultural thing. I had a deposition. I was on a divorce case, a matrimonial case, a few weeks ago. And it was an Asian witness, and in their culture, not just their culture, but I'm gonna talk about that because this is what I heard firsthand. And in their culture, his family, the groom's family, gifted the bride's family. She wasn't even a bride yet. She was about to become, she was about to be his wife. They gifted their family with over $120,000. It's supposed to be some, and then his mom gifted the bride to be $12,000. This is when people, if you know that if you were not born with a silver spoon in your mouth, if you did not wake up Northwest or Chicago West or Stormy Webster, Air Webster, that's Kylie Jenner kids. If you know you did not wake up with a silver spoon in your mouth, if nobody is giving you handouts, if you are not the estate over someone's trust, if nothing was left for you, you don't have any inheritances, what do you have to do? You have to put in the work. You have to start somewhere. You have to start saying, listen, I'm not talking about nobody left me. I don't know if my father gonna leave me anything or not. Because truthfully, the Bible tells you a good man will leave an inheritance for his children's children. So my boys should be set up. But I don't know if they are. I know that their father is into generating generational wealth. He's always been that way, creating generational wealth. So my boys might be good, whether my dad do it or not, but I'm going to do it. I am going to make sure I have something to leave behind for my kids. But at the same token, I want to make sure I'm leaving it in the right hands. And my boys are my boys, they're my kids. So I'm going to leave something behind for them. That's the goal, that's the purpose. That we have to get to a place in our life, if nobody is handing you anything, and nobody should have to hand you anything, but if you can make it easier for the people that come behind you, why not? Why not? Be the change. You might be the person. I just might be the person. I'm going to do it. I'm on my way. I'm going to do it. So sometimes we have to step outside of our comfort zone, make it in life. I'm okay as long as, I told y'all before, I was in a place in my life when I was okay with, as long as I pay my bills, as long as my rent's paid, as long as I keep the lights on, I keep the internet on, because I need to work from Zoom to make a living. And don't get me wrong, I said this before, as court reporters. Court reporters is not a job that is you make a lot of money in court reporting, a whole lot, but you have to what? Put in the work. It's always going to be about putting in the work. You have to put in the work. Things are not going to, miracles happen every day, y'all. Miracles happen every day. Before our eyes, and things that we see and can't see, they happen every single day. I remember one time when I was working in the field before my company was bought out, and it'll be 26 years as a court reporter come November. I remember I had started working for the Waterfront Commission, and sometimes I would have trials, and I would work with judges, and I got familiar with one particular judge, and I walked in one day. It was a trial this day, and he looked at me, we were cool or whatever, and he said, "You look so tired." He said, "You look so tired today, Trinice." And I said, "Yeah, I barely sleep." I said, "I have to sit up and sleep because I can't breathe." And he said to me, "You might have sleep apnea." And I was like, I don't know about that. But when I think about it, there's times when I would sleep, but I would find myself trying to catch my breath. Like I had to, and I need to get that checked out. But my point of saying that is miracles happen every day, every single day. But if you know that nobody is just giving you things, handing you things, you have to do what? Create it yourselves. Create a generational wealth. You should want to leave something behind for your children. Not just my children, my nephew, my nieces, my cousins and their children. It's all about making it easier for the next generation. Let's not be used to just living with the bare necessities. This is why I told you all. I didn't say this to YouTube, but I said this to Love and Reciprocity on Facebook and Instagram, that the reason I'm going to protect Love and Reciprocity to the ends of the earth, as long as there's breath in my body, as long as there's breath in my lungs, as long as there's blood running through my veins, I'm going to go to the ends of the earth to protect Love and Reciprocity, because it was a gift that God gave me. He gifted me Love and Reciprocity. And it's where I'm going to start generating wealth for me, for my children, and my legacy, y'all. Can't nobody taint my legacy. Nobody. No matter how hard you try. I'm not saying anybody is trying to taint my legacy. You can't. You can't taint me. You can't taint my person. You can't taint anything, because I am who I am. I am who God called me to be. I am my mother's child. I had to tell somebody that the other day. I had to tell somebody, I said, I'm my mother's child. I am who I am. Outside of being my mother's child, I'm called by God. Many are called, few are chosen. I'm a chosen one, y'all. It's a lot of y'all that God wants to choose you. But you got to choose him first. He chose you first. Actually, let me step back, because I don't want no Bible scholars coming after me. He chose you first. But you have to accept, that's the thing. You have to accept the calling. You have to accept the calling and walk this journey and this path so you can create the life that God wants for you and the life that you want for yourselves. It's about stepping outside on faith. And here's the thing, not that I'm talking about anybody, and I'm going to close real soon. Sometimes people do not step out on faith because of fear. What's the opposite of faith? Fear. Fear-based mentalities. You know, I guess this is a story. I'm not going to use any names, but I know a person who wanted to purchase a home. They wanted to purchase a home. And somebody else didn't want them to because of fear. Fear of what about the taxes? What about the water bill? What about if this goes? What about if that goes? What if this happens? What if this break? What if that break? And it was based off of fear. You have to break the chains of fear. That mentality that I can't make it. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and, even if you have the credit, I mean, credit means everything today. Even if you have a perfect credit score, right? But you don't have the means, the money, you don't go out and buy a house for $700,000. You ain't gonna be able to upkeep it. Use wisdom. Use wisdom. But a lot of people are operating in a fear-based mentality. Got perfect, impeccable, this is a real life story. Perfect, impeccable credit scores. Make a lot of money. A lot of money. But because of fear and because of generational curses, not because God cursed the family, because of the mindset. The mindset is what creates generational curses. It's the mindset. It's learned behaviors. It's learned behaviors. If this is all I knew all my life, this is all I knew, this is what I know struggling, as long as I can make it, that is a curse. Because God don't want you living that way. Don't now, hear me out. I'm also gonna use wisdom, y'all. I'm also gonna use wisdom. I get it. Some people don't have, maybe it could be education-wise. I said that, you know, I don't have a college degree, but I'm intelligent. I have wisdom. I've been called with a purpose. We all have purpose. I'm walking in my purpose, right? So there are some people that may have a low level of education. They may have to work at, listen, there's people who work at McDonald's who become managers, who make a lot of money. Don't think that when you walk into McDonald's and it's a manager, they make decent money. They're not making minimum wage. I mean, I'm not saying, I don't know what they make. I can't say that. But I know somebody who was a manager for Walgreens, and they didn't make a little bit of money, y'all. It depends on what you consider to be a little bit of money, but they were up there like close to 80,000, right? So my point of saying this is use wisdom. I'm not telling you to go out there and purchase a house and you only made $40,000 a year and you go out and purchase a house that is 700,000, 800,000. Then you might have some problems, right? But what I'm saying is breaking generational curses because of fear. Fear. I'm glad that I have cousins and my brothers, they're homeowners. I have one brother who's 2 times a homeowner. And the other, it might be, one might be an investment property. I don't know. I don't get into their business like that. It's about breaking generational curses, changing the mindset. I talk about this so much. I know it's redundant. I talk about the mind, your thought process. You have to change the way you think about yourselves. Some people may feel like they're not good enough for certain things in this life. I told you all before, stop thinking that way. Your gifts cannot fail you. They cannot fail you. They cannot fail you. You might fail. I don't even want to use the word fail. You might lack the success because you're not putting in the work. We have to put in the work. We have to put in the work. And that's my message on today, you all. I hope I covered everything. I know I had a lot to talk about. I got up this morning and I was going over in my mind what I was going to talk about. And then I ended up getting a phone call. And I got a whole bunch of text messages and kind of took me off I'm in a zone. When God gives me things, I'm in a zone. I'm in a zone because I'm hearing everything that he's telling me that I need to speak about. And then sometimes, you know, it comes in that you get calls and, you know, you start talking about other things and it kind of takes you off what you want to cover. But that is my message on today. Step outside of our comfort zone, If nobody is handing you anything, if you was not born, if you're not an heir of Jeff Bezos, you got to put in the work to get what you want in this life. Step outside of the box. Step outside of the box. Kick the box. Bye. That's why I always say I will never live in a box. I'll never live in a box. I can't work from within a box, right? I have to do what I'm called to do. I have to do what's right for my life and my kids' life. So make sure that you're leaving a legacy, integrity, honesty, so that people continue to build upon a great name. A great name. I'm going to leave a great name. When people hear about when I'm gone, Trinice L. Jackson, as long as God continues to give me a long life, longevity, and I can still put in the work I still got my right mind. You have your right mind. The mind is everything. Like I told you, the mind is everything, y'all. The mind is everything. Still got my right mind. I have a sound mind. God gives me the things to talk about. He gives me wisdom, understanding. And to top it off, I'm a person who likes to give. And God gonna give it back to me 100-fold. 100-fold. It's about his timing, not my timing. I might say, God, well, I needed it 2 weeks ago. Why God, you ain't, why I needed it 2 weeks ago. But it's about divine timing. And I have to put in the work. He gave me the vision. Gave me the vision, love and reciprocity. He gave me love and reciprocity. He gave me the vision. And I told you, because of my being a perfectionist, it delayed me, and it caused stagnation. And you know, I used to look at the website a little bit and do this, and I create this shirt, and I create that, and I do this, and I put the saying on the shirt, and I said, oh, this saying is powerful, Trinice. And then I'm like, well, I don't like the way this font look, and I don't like the way this font look. I don't like the way this is lined up. So I got to call my niece in to help me out just a little bit, niece. But that is it for now, you all. Creating generational wealth, and you might be the legacy builder. You might be the one that God wants you to start building a new legacy. And you can't remove yourself from your heritage and your lineage. That's who you are. That's in your blood. But what you can do is you can create a new mindset, so that you can pass it on to your children and their children and their children. Right? That's what it's about. That's what it's about. And helping others. That's why I said you got to surround yourself with people, like-minded people, but people who's even higher, at a higher level than you. Right? You surround yourself with people who is on the same level as you. You might stay at that level, depending on the person. But surround yourself with people who know more, who do more, and can show you more. That's the goal here too. God gives me everything, but he also will send people into your life to help you. Because we're human. We're in the flesh. So everything, you can't be so spiritually minded. My pastor used to say this. You're so spiritually minded, you're no earthly good. It's okay. Everything happens in the spirit realm first. But then it manifests into the natural realm. And this is why it's important, no matter how spiritual I am, I know that there's people that God is going to send into my life to help me, and He has, right? That's why I'm here right before you right now today. So always a purpose, always a plan. Just stick to the plan. Stick and stay connected with God. Stay connected with God, and even when you walk your journey, sometimes you're gonna have detours. I talk about, I did this video over a year ago, and I talked about detours, and when God tried to direct you in a way, and you decide you want to take your own way, and sometimes you go a way that is going to take you off course a little bit. God knew. He may not have wanted you to go that way, but He'll make it right. He'll make it right for you. But some things we can prevent in this life. And you're going to say, well, God knows. He already knows. He already knows the mistakes we're going to make. He already knows that we're going to go left when He told us to go right. He wants us to go right. He don't want to see us hurt. He don't want to see us downtrodden. He doesn't want to see us suffering. It's part of life. Some of us long suffer. And it don't have to be a long suffering. It doesn't have to be long because we're disobedient. That's why they tell you obedience is better than sacrifice. No, I want to go this way because I need to do some things over here. I want to see about some things over here. And you end up going in that direction and encountering some things that you didn't have to encounter. You'll get back on track, hopefully sooner than later. You'll make it to your destiny. Whatever the destination is, God already knows. I told you all before, you're not going to get to your destination and shock God. He already knew. September 17th, 1970. Somebody said, stop saying your birthday out there. I mean, people know already. Stop saying your birthday out there. Because people think, people take your birthday. My family used to always talk about this. Don't ever take your hair and put it in the garbage, put it in the toilet and flush it. Because if somebody get a hold of your DNA, they can do things to it. Somebody said, stop saying your birthday out there. You're giving people too much information. But God knew on September 17th, they already know. I already said it. On September 17th, 1975, he knew that on May 6th, 2023, that I was going to go right and not left. And he told me to go right. I'm not saying, he ain't tell me. God don't give me stuff like that, y'all. He give me things, but he don't sit here and tell me, Trinice, on May 6th, you're going to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and this, that, and the other's going to happen. You're going to go in the kitchen and have a drink of water and you're going to go in and do this. And you're going to go brush your teeth and you're going to, he don't, that's minutiae, y'all. Small trivial things. He don't tell me to get up and put on a pink shirt. He don't tell me you need to go get your nails pink. He don't tell me you need to go and get your hair this way. God don't have time for that. He loves us, but he don't have time to tell us to do. This is why he gives you a mind, so that you can use it, right? That's it. I know I'm going on 35 minutes. Trinice, get off of here. But anyway, you all, I hope that you all have a wonderful Sunday, or whatever day it is that you are viewing this. Have a wonderful day. Know that if you want, create the life you want. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. Creating the life you want, right? Either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. It's when you decide to do it. I understand divine timing. I get it. I understand the whole thing about divine timing. But at the same token, you all, you have to put in the work. Don't wait until you're 60 years old. And if you have to, hey, if you're 59, then hey, do it. Do it at 59. Do it at 60. As long as there's breath in your body, do it. But don't wait if you're 40 years old. Don't wait until, a lot of us think we have time to do it. A lot of us think we have time. I got time. I got time. I got time. I got time. Time. We don't know the time that we have here on this earth. This is why I'm not waiting for nobody to create generational wealth for my boys. Their father probably gonna leave them something. I'm sure he is. I'm pretty sure he is. But I'm not gonna wait around to see that. I'm gonna do it for me. I'm gonna do it for my boys. I'm gonna do it for my family, right? Do it for yours. If you love them, do it for yours. And that's that. Have a wonderful day.